Hello, and welcome to the World at War, here on Dire Bear. That's, of course, our Tuesday night Scion's 2nd Edition Chronicle. And I believe that last week we left our band in a little spot of trouble. They had a flat tire. And
Yeah.
also, critters were coming over the hills at them.
Yeah, that was all the trouble we had. The tire, right?
Look,
Obviously.
you're Scions. The critters are just run-of-the-mill, everyday problems. How often have y'all had a tire blowout in the campaign? Yep. Fault monsters, sure. The tire is something new. But that does mean we are starting off in the thick of it.
Yeah. Speaking of, what were those other things?
That's about to come up. But just to kind of position ourselves or revisit the scene. Y'all on a road running alongside a small hill when the tire blew out. Robert is out there twisting lug nuts off with his fingers. Because what does he need tools for?
I am the tool.
Yeah.
I'm now thinking of supervillains that could use that name. But anyway, so he's changing the tire. There's y'all just looking around, beautiful, Italian countryside or whatever. I think y'all were y'all an hour away from Pompeii at this point? They were relatively close. You still had a little drive, but you were relatively close, hour or two. But you hear that hill next to the road. You hear a roar from the other side of the hill, and you see this creature top the hill. Lion's body, a tail that looks more like a snake, and with a goat's head also kind of coming out of his shoulders. Focuses its view on you, starts charging down, and then just as we wrapped, you were starting to see other shapes start to top the hill. For just a second, you think they're men on horseback. Then it becomes obvious they are not, in fact, men on horseback.
They are centaurs, aren't they?
Yes. Half man, half... They say horses. Really, they were more pony size, but whatever. They are not actually all... The occultists among you would know they're not actually all that common on the Italian peninsula itself. They were far more common in the steppes.
They look like they're chasing this thing?
No. The rifles they've got are not pointed at the creature.
Right. How many of them are there?
You see two currently.
Of course.
But now that the creature's roar has died down, you're pretty sure you hear more hooves back behind, Not like, an entire cavalry regiment or anything, but, a few.
Okay. Right, this thing's barreling down at us, so reflexively, I'm going to activate Heavenly Stride and Celestial Promotion.
Now, what does that one do?
It lets me give a divine title. And I'm going to declare myself a Chimera Slayer.
Interestingly specific, but okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go with a more generic Beast Slayer or something like that?
No. Well, nah. Because our chimeras considered beasts, our centaurs considered beasts, or are they?
I'm not sure exactly what you would consider a chimera.
Yeah.
I mean, Titan spawn of some sort, probably. But...
Mm-hmm.
Well, literally, I mean, the chimera's father was probably Typhoon, so.
Yippers.
All right. So yeah, if you can do that stuff as a reflex, then you can certainly do that. If any of the rest you have are like reflexes, the things you can activate.
No, unfortunately, Robo doesn't have anything like that.
Yeah. All right, then everybody, give me the initiative rolls using whatever combat skill y'all are planning to use.
Also,
said enforcing the boundary
Okay.
as they came over the hill.
And that one's a reflex too, or
What if she'd seen him coming over the thing, would she have had time to? Let me see
that'll
what it
depend on your
says.
initiative. You've certainly got time to put it up before the chimera gets there. But the two centaurs have topped the corner or topped the hill have rifles, so it's really a matter of you spotting the rifle and getting the thing up before they start shooting.
Okay.
Well, the chimera there is very disappointing. All right, so and then the centaurs. Right, that kind of sucked. And I do apologize. I had meant to roll their initiatives ahead of time and forgot to.
Shame.
Yeah, I am feeling a little bit of shame. All right, that's got it. All right. So what did y'all get? Well, let's see. Our highest number looks like the highest number is a 4.
Mm-hmm.
So the players will go on a 4. And then the story guide will go on a 4. And then the story guide will go on a 4. And then next up, the players go on a 3. Then the players go on a 2. And then the players go on a 2. Then the story guide goes on a 2, and a 2, and a 2, and a 0. Initiative was not friendly to me this go round. Alright, so I've laid out the scene. Players get to go first. Which one of y'all wants to go first?
Fuck.
Crazy Monkey Man, shall we leave it to you first?
That's what I was just laughing at. Like, Fox usually goes first.
Let's say we can, but do we want to have Sasha put up the boundary first because of all the rifles?
Okay.
That's fine by me, boss.
All right.
That's all she can do on her turn, anyways. I think it's a full action.
Yeah, as I was saying, is have you go and put up the boundary.
Yep, I'm doing a knack roll. I'm just gonna pick one of my skills that has 4 and then do the occult with it.
Okay.
Or is knack roll just the knack dice? I keep forgetting that.
I think knack roll is
Like, is it a corresponding skill or just the die or just the number of dots in the knack?
Let me see. Does the story guide screen have that? It does not. Because that'd be too useful.
That'd be yeah.
Let's see. Plenty of things on knacks on the interwebs. What about knack rolls? Nope.
Either way, I would have got a success. I just rolled it both ways.
Oh, okay.
And that means enforcing the boundaries up, which means everyone within the same like range band as me, like or short. Everyone near me can not be hit with or taken out by anything with a firearm or arcing tag.
Okay. I guess the arcane tag would be most spells that be hurled the direction or something.
Arcing, not arcane.
Oh, I'm sorry. Misheard.
You're good. Weapons and abilities. So, I mean, if one of the spells has an arcing ability on it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up. Don't want the big boy to go first. Yeah, the big boy will go first. All right. So the Chimera comes charging down at you. It has stopped roaring, but it's still. But you can see it taking in a big breath. But it's not going to be close enough to do that quite yet. But the snake tail hisses at you and then spits. Let's see.
Is that spit considered firearm or arcing?
Is it an arcing ability?
It does not have either tag on it.
Oh.
Say, I'm curious because
Just range short. Oh wait, short range. That's not good. No. Okay, I'm sorry. The poison is short. The fire breath is the one that could actually reach you. So it's basically shooting a gout of fire out of its mouth at you.
We're in danger.
Okay.
Now this is not like an area effect though. It's a pretty straight stream.
So who's he after?
Well, y'all are all clustered together, so we're gonna go.
Say we're all around a car, so
Basically.
Say, I did place myself in front, if that matters.
If you were in front, he'd probably just be going for you then.
All right.
Just, target of opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a single success. Not a single success.
Okay.
Which means it's well, that means it's enhancement, so I'm not even help it. All right, that's embarrassing.
I mean, it happens.
I'm about to say RNG is a cruel mistress to both the players and the king.
Yeah.
yeah.
It is.
One of the centaurs takes a shot, but it's not going to get through the enforcing the barrier, which is basically an area within 30 feet of Sasha.
Double checking here, but it's basically everyone's gathered in one place, so it's going to cover everyone.
Yeah. So he takes his shot. You see the barrier stop the bullet. I forget. Does it reflect off of it like it hit something hard, or does it just kind of hit the barrier and just lose all momentum and drop?
Linked it in the chat there for you.
Small barrier force. Okay, so it'd be like he was hitting something hard and stopping.
Sorry.
All right, so that was one centaur. He, like I said, takes a shot, bullet ricochets. You see him probably swearing. You can't quite hear what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then it is one of the players goes.
I would like to go.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, I've got a chimera right in front of me.
Well, there's still a little distance at this point, but he's getting closer. Or excuse me, she's
Oh,
getting closer.
yeah, absolutely. So, I'm declaring feat of scale as I'm gonna max speed into the chimera, and it's basically just swing right into its chest with the staff, and make sure that its brutal and aggravated damage tags are active
Okay.
as I do this.
Small interjection.
Yes.
What about your two goons?
I'll say before we ended, I told them to stay back and provide cover fire.
Okay.
Because trying to act myself and command them is a mixed action, and I want all my dice for this.
No, I understand. It's just my brain locked in the fact which way. Socks brought two goons with him. I remember
did.
this detail.
Yeah, I told them before we left to stay back and provide cover fire, which they move immediately after me, but I don't have their dice. So
Fair enough.
Anywaysies, might combat. Alrighty, dice. Do not fail me now. Okay.
That's a good roll.
Yes, it is. It's even better because of all the enhancements that went into this.
Yep.
Enhancement.
So, story guide.
Mm-hmm.
That is 17 successes.
All right. The Chimera's defense is 4.
Leaves me with 13. So I hit. I am going to. So it leaves me with. So okay. So the hit leaves me with 13. 10 brutal critical. 7 another brutal critical. 4 a third brutal critical. And the remaining 3 are going to be used to knock his ass flat right back up the mountain again.
All right. I think you can knock him, 10 feet per success that you spend on that?
It's, if I recall correctly, hold on, because you have the combat stunts written out, which thank you for that very much.
It has proven useful.
Yes, for every 1 success you spend after beating the difficulty, you may push your opponent back a number of meters equal to your might.
Okay.
So that is 15 meters that it is flung.
All right.
So I basically knock it back a rage band. It took 4 wounds.
Oh, 4, all right.
Yeah. And an attack, 3 criticals, and then 15-meter knockback.
All right. She goes flying back.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just past the 2 centaurs that are on top of the hill. They look mildly startled.
Mm-hmm. Monkey, with all the power coursing through him right now, like his hair has lengthened and sort of flayed out. He just looks like an angry monkey man. He's DBZing, yeah.
I'm about
basically.
to say, is his hair going out and then up and blonde?
No, not up and blonde. But it's sort of doing the Miyazaki thing,
The
where it just sort of
Miyazaki
like
fruit.
sort of floats a bit. Yeah.
Do you have a
And
tail?
Oh yeah. And he looks at the two centaurs and is like, "You want to keep trying this?"
All right, and then it is another player's turn.
Robert can go ahead and
Alrighty.
take a shot. So he'll just kind of use, even though he doesn't really have to, he'll like kind of have the car door open and just kind of duck behind it for cover as he pops some shots. So
Also, Connor's two goons would have gone immediately after him if their weapons had the range to do it. Just so you know.
All right, but to have them do something in combat, I thought that involved you having to split your action.
If I give them an order, but that's. If we want to rule that to have them do something in combat, I have to split my action. That's fine.
I
but-
seem to recall that being my understanding when I read through the rules on and listened to an actual play on Light Followers.
We usually have to do it with like Smoochums and Spruce too.
Yeah, let me double check.
Yeah, by all means, checking.
Yeah, because I know what Spruce and Smoochums are. Is they're creatures, not followers.
Yeah, there was a difference there.
Two different
Wow.
things.
Which I think I was actually looking at, and we may have been doing them wrong.
All right, I'll double check while Robert's doing his.
Okay. Do you think, Robert?
Oh, my shot. If I remember correctly, specializing with pistol and firearms and actually using the firearms as intended, that now makes that a 6 successes.
Yes, I believe so. Their defense is a 4. So you
That
do
gives me-
damage to him, and that leaves you.
2 to do something
Yep.
with.
And with the
Okay.
range, you could. Let's see. He's not carrying anything, so you couldn't disarm.
Probably just a pin,
Okay.
just making their complication a 2. Yeah. Pin applies a complication of 2 on the character's next attack.
Hey, Scully, Mom's got to put you down, okay? So you're not on my desk. I love you.
Oh
Well, if you've got 2, spending 1 gives them a complication of 2. If you spend another one, it'd make it a complication of 4. And they either have to buy off the complication or they automatically take damage if they do something. It's basically you laying down cover fire, and they can ignore that and act like normal. But that means you actually hit them.
Why not? We'll make it a complication of 4.
All right.
And it can be either centaur. He wasn't really
Yeah.
particularly aiming at a specific one. He just saw the 2 of them open fired.
Okay.
And Jason, yeah, you were right. Says followers don't get a spot on the initiative roster and don't act independently. They always act on your turn, and their action always takes up your turn. But I can take a mixed action
Absolutely.
to act while commanding them. So, ta-da!
Behold the power of information.
Yeah.
Even or odd, Dicker. Duba. So he's one of you D guys.
We'll go even.
All right, it came up even. You are pinning down the one that has not shot, or one of the original 2 that has not shot yet. Because basically the 2 you can see at the moment, 1 is already fired and then 1 hasn't done anything yet.
So I'm getting the one that just hasn't done nothing.
Right. Which, tactically is probably the better way to go.
Yeah.
One more player goes. I believe we have a Jaden left.
Yes, we do. And she will shoot at the centaur. With her bow. So let's see if it hits. 3 successes.
All right, their defense is a 4, but
Alright.
you rolled 3. You've got
And
the
then I
archery
have
skill,
one.
right?
Yeah.
And you've
For
got the specialty in archery, or specialty in bow?
And bows and firearm. Yeah, so. And then, yeah, the ranged. So, yeah.
So you've got a weapon that you're using as you should. That's one enhancement. If you've got the specialty in archery, that's another enhancement. And did your bow give you anything? Or is it just got the face shot, or does it have an enhancement built into it?
No, it just has the face shine. It paralyzes on hit.
Okay. But that gives you 5 successes, so that hits. You got 1 extra success.
Yeah, let me get these combat stunts up.
And what does the paralyze do?
Let's see. Suffers a 2 complication on their next turn. If they don't buy it off, they can't take any movement actions until the end of their next turn.
Okay.
Healing necks and boons can't alleviate this complication.
They actually have a pin, just instead of them just taking damage, they just can't move.
Okay.
That's the way I'm
But if they buy off the complication, then they're back normal.
Yes.
Okay.
But then I'm also going to pin them as well, so that'll be a +4 complication.
Okay.
With my last one, that's what I'll do.
And who was it you were doing this to? The centaur that hadn't shot yet?
Yes.
So he's got a 8 complication on him total?
Oh, God! That poor bastard.
We're ruining their day.
It's like, the one shot at us, we don't give a crap about him. The one that hasn't shot, you're our bitch.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah, we got this. We have a chimera.
All right. And that leaves. Oh, that just leaves all the rest of mine. So first, we'll do this poor guy.
Wow.
He is. All right. Connor ran forward to fight the chimera.
Yep.
So he's going to shoot at him.
Sure.
He can technically roll high enough to buy everything off.
Technically.
At least 8 successes to buy everything off.
Right.
Which is possible.
Yes. He's got the dice to do it. Not taking into account, exploding 10s.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he rolled 1 10 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1 success. Let's see. Well, he didn't choose not to buy off the complication, but he is incapable of buying off the complication from either one of the pins. So he takes both a bullet and an arrow and goes down.
Well, success in coordinating attack, I guess.
All right, so that's 1 down. Then 3 more centaurs top the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The first one is going to shoot at Connor.
Okay.
He's seen Dragon Ball Z. He knows people always make the mistake of letting Goku finish his power up.
Fair.
One success is
Yes.
probably not going to hit you though. Excuse me. It would be 2 with the with his an enhancement he's got.
I mean, technically yes, unless I roll, but I'm gonna reflexively go ahead and activate Skin Like Stone.
Which requires him to spend, what, 3 or 4 to actually do any damage?
Well, he has to do 4 successes after my defense roll to do any damage.
Yeah.
Which is 5 successes.
So that's going to be a no.
Yeah.
Basically, you activate that skin thing and it pings off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that one require a legend?
Imbuing one, yeah.
Wait, he shot at him? I'm just making sure.
Yes. Connor had
Wouldn't
moved
have even-
forward to attack the Chimera at that point.
He's still in. Okay.
Well, how big an area do you cover?
It doesn't give exact like footage, but I think we agreed like it was like within the same range band. So I mean, unless he's like a full range band away from the vehicle.
Well, like I said, he charged forward to attack the Chimera.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm out of short range.
Okay.
Because
Never mind.
because the tail couldn't have spit in that case.
Never mind.
Yeah.
My brain was just like, wait a minute, should that even be him?
Yeah. Basically, I'm out front trying to absorb damage.
All right, so he died. He missed a shot.
He died.
The one that was getting pinned down. Yeah, he took 2 shots trying to fire.
Oh, okay.
He took a bullet and an arrow. No, the guy that shot at you just missed.
Yeah.
He's mortified, but he has not died of embarrassment.
Yeah. But to answer your question, Jason, yes, Skin Like Stone does take up my 3rd legend point.
Okay. The next 2 fling their rifles over their shoulder and pull out these like short spears, and they start charging down the hill.
Okay.
Both of them, they kind of part around Connor. They're not trying to engage Connor. They're trying to get down to the folks further down the hill. But they only get about as far as Connor is.
Okay.
Next round, they would be able to do a charging attack, except for the fact that the barrier is up. So instead, they'll have to, do like the battle droids and walk through the barrier to get up close.
Yeah, the barrier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I believe the barrier stops the rush or charge, or whatever they call it.
No, I can't take rush actions or charge actions.
Oh, so they may be fine.
She gets an enhancement to. I think she and anyone in there gets an enhancement to resist them. If I remember reading it
It adds
correctly.
your legend and enhancement to any rolls you make to resist it, and it adds your legend and enhancement to any rolls you make to resist the rush action. This applies
Okay.
before you roll. So just me, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, you're protecting the rest of them from gunfire, though, so
Yeah, that's handy.
Mm-hmm.
In a world full of guns, yes, it is. So anyway, that's their action. They're charging down. Back up to the top of the action, or top of the initiative.
If someone wants to go.
Yeah, it's one of the players. Hang on, let me look something up.
I'll go ahead and go if that's fine.
Okay.
Is the Chimera currently down from getting flung right now?
It stands to reason he would have landed prone.
Okay, cool. Which means he loses 2 defense against me. I I'm going to take a mixed action
Okay.
to command my followers to attack the centaurs prepping to charge.
Do we want to make sure not to kill them, just in case this is some kind of weird misunderstanding?
Uh,
Well,
I'll
one's
say-
already dead, so yeah, there's that.
I'll say fire to cripple.
You're trying to break a horseman's leg. Oh, that's going to end well.
They're gonna have to put him down anyway.
Yeah.
What happened? They took Bob out back and shot him.
Good grief. Okay, so that would be, and then I will myself charge the Chimera to attack.
Okay.
Okay, now what kind of roll is this gonna be?
Okay, here's where it gets fun with multiple actions.
Yeah.
Because you calculate the dice pool. So clearly
Yeah.
your close combat would be for the close combat,
Uh-huh.
but it's a social roll to command your troops.
Yeesh.
So you could go with manipulation, which you're decent at,
Uh-huh.
as well as I would probably say persuasion. Oh, leadership. You've got actual leadership.
Yeah.
You've got command. You're built for this. You're fine.
Yeah. That's the thing is the attribute, I can only pick an attribute.
Oh, for this you.
Yeah, to do the dice, it's an attribute and a skill.
Yeah.
Or am I just like, how am I rolling this is the thing?
You're rolling your manipulation and your leadership.
My manipulation and my leadership.
Yep. And then you're
Okay.
splitting and then that will generate your successes that you split between the two actions because you rolled the smaller of the two die pools.
Okay. This is where it gets crazy. Because I have a +8 enhancement to fight the Chimera as myself. I have a +1 enhancement for command.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have the war purview, my followers have a +2 enhancement when they're dealing damage, which they're going to be doing. So,
Well, the enhancements that you have would go to the appropriate die pools.
appropriate die pools.
It's just
okay.
the die or the appropriate successes. As long as you put one success in each one of those things, the enhancements will stack onto them.
Okay, that's what I need to know. All right, cool. Okay, so you said manipulation and leadership.
Yes. At least I assume that's going to be lower than your combat. Yes.
It is. Now, next question. Never mind. That's intimidation, seduction. All right, so epic strength won't work.
No, you're not
Alrighty.
using seduction to get your mercenary.
I know. Okay, so manipulation.
I mean, I guess you could.
In the distance, Careless Whisper starts playing.
Okay, so 2 successes. So one's going to go to each action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one has to go to each action. So
Yeah. So that gives my mercenaries a +4 or 4 successes.
okay.
And I have 9 against the Chimera.
All right.
Well, they're using firearms, so would that be 5 successes for them?
What now? All right, they've got one success on the roll.
Yeah.
They get a +2 for you having empowered them.
Uh-huh. And then the +1 for the leadership bit
right,
for
because
commanding.
you got command.
Right, and they're using firearms at their appropriate range.
Yeah.
And I guess it'd be a you thing, but would they have specialty with firearms? I'm sorry if this is getting stupid complex. This is the first time I've used followers in a fight.
I'm trying to remember if followers get regular. I don't think followers really get stats per se.
Well, yeah.
But it makes sense that they'd be armed with a gun, so I'll give you that enhancement. Yeah.
Okay, so they have 6 successes then total. No, is that just the gun bit, not the specialty?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the gun bit right now.
Okay,
Okay,
so they
we'll
have
look
5.
into it more later. But...
Right. So they have 5. I have 9.
Okay. And who are they firing at?
They're gonna fire at one of the trying to flank / charging centaurs.
Okay. Well, the centaurs. Well, if I can find stats for your old centaur, jump pages. All right, the centaur's defense is 2, so that leaves them. So they do damage, and that leaves them with 3 to play with.
Okay.
Which is not enough for them to crit.
No.
Now you said they got some kind of enhancement to. That
Oh,
went,
no,
that went into the die roll.
Yeah.
That went
Yeah,
into
the
die
5
roll.
successes is all their enhancements.
Okay. So that leaves them 3 they can do some other stunt with.
Okay.
So they can do a pin.
I think that's what they're gonna do. Is they're gonna pin him since he looks like
Okay.
he's trying to get ready to charge.
So if they spend all 3 of them, that's going to give him a 6.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because he'd be charging into a hell of gunfire.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he's got a 6. Not a +6. I guess I'll put that as a -6. Complication. We'll call him the spear guy too. All right, and then your 9 are going to the Chimera, I assume.
Yes. And he only has 2 defense since he's prone.
Okay.
Well, he has -2 defense since he's prone. I think you said his defense was 4.
His defense is 4, so yeah, for him that makes it a 2.
Okay, which gives me 7 to play with. So that'll be hit, crit, and then the combat stunts.
Okay. As you go to hit him, he triggers something as a reaction.
Okay.
And I burn attention. And he gets his
Alright.
second wind.
Sure.
And then you smack him with your big flaming stick again.
Yeah, he's still taking 3 damage.
Yeah. He's still Hoyt.
Yes. Then with the extra success, I'll just go, smack him back another 5 meters, I guess.
All right, so he crests the hill at this point.
Actually, where are those centaurs that came over the hill?
2 of them are like right up close to where you're at.
Can I
Well,
knock him
you got the one that's been
into-
shot. You got a dead one laying here,
Right.
and one with his rifle on the other side.
Okay, can I knock him into the one that my guys aren't pinning?
No, because
It's-
that would be another attack essentially. You'd have to be splitting more successes to hit another guy.
Okay, so can I knock him in front of the charging centaur? Just try to
Sure,
interrupt
sure. In
his
the general
flank.
area, sure.
That's what I'll do then. I'm sorry that took so long. This is the first time using followers.
So you slap him over. He lands in front of the centaur. That kind of rears up a little bit.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. Let's see. Origins. All right, when prone, yeah. All right, so he is going to stand up. The Chimera is going to stand up.
Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
Since my staff can extend, is he in my threat range?
What is considered a threat range? That does not come up when I search for the term.
Yeah, it's in the origin book.
That's the one I'm searching.
Yeah, it's sorry.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's not coming up in a search. So.
Yeah. Or something. There's one for basically one for trying to get up when someone is threatening you. Oh, within close range. Never mind. I'm not in close range.
Okay.
I think.
No, you would not be in close range at this point.
Okay, never mind then.
All right, so the Chimera stands up, and it's going to. Let's see, close range, but you would be in short range, so it's going to. Its tail is going to spit at you.
Okay.
All right. So the little snake tail hisses and spits. 1, 2, 3. One of those is a 10. 4. It has a enhancement, so 5. All right, so it's got 5 successes.
Okay, my defense is up to a 4.
All right, what gets it that high now?
We all start with 1 defense.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 1 stamina.
Well, your stamina.
Then I have the +1 enhancement from the staff, and I am on the ground, so the Earth Purview gives me a second enhancement with the stamina roll. So that puts my defense up to 4.
Okay.
So it still hits, but 1 success.
Yes. All right, and the venom spit puts a condition on you.
Okay.
Effectively blinding you. Let's see, that's not the one I'm looking for. Since he doesn't have any extra successes to spend on it, you've only got the difficulty of 1 on your attacks.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I think that's all he can do. Other than, he's roaring at you because he's rather upset.
I can imagine.
Alright, and then the next storyteller character. Story guide character. The centaur Nick, basically that's standing right behind him at this point, pulls his spear and charges you.
Okay. So I did what I meant to do, which was interrupt his charge for the others.
Do what now?
But basically, I was trying to get his attention.
Oh,
so he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
charge the others and came after me.
Never mind. You got 1 success.
Which my 1 defense overrides.
That is now the other players. All 3 of y'all go in a row, so just whatever order y'all want to go in.
If nobody else will go, then it will be Robert. But before I do that, let me illuminate the situation. There we go. Much better.
Ha.
um, At this point, Robert is going to focus his attention on assisting Connor, though Connor could easily probably do just fine, but he's going to help out anyway. And take a few shots at the Chimera. Or at least attempt. We shall see.
Alright.
And yeet the dice. Oh, shit!
Alright, 7
Okay.
successes.
Well,
That's a
damn, son.
lot of tens. My dude.
Plus 2 more, so that makes it 9.
Oh, Lord.
Alright, Chimera's defense is a 4. That leaves you 5 to play with. If you want to look at the ranged combat stunts.
Well, I'll impose a critical hit, because that'll take 4.
Okay.
And I will, again, do covering fire, aka pin.
Alright, so he's got a 2 complication on him.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm assuming the Chimera is a beefy boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's taken several massive hits from Connor and is still standing.
Yeah, basically. And Robert's just like, wait, I'm ranged. I can give covering fire. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Sasha and Jaden, which one of y'all want to go next?
I guess I'll go next. What's left standing?
Centaurs and Chimera.
There are 2 centaurs, I believe.
Left?
Well, see, there were 2 charging down.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's got covering fire on him, so he's probably neutralized for a turn at least.
Mm.
But you've still got one that's charging down the hill. You've got one that just charged Connor. Let's see, you had 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you have one that shot at Connor? Yeah, you had one that shot at Connor. So you got 2 charging down the hill, one that's being, pinned down by cover fire. You got 2 that are up the hill, one with a spear trying to stab Connor, one still got his gun out to shoot, and then you've got the Chimera.
Okay. She's gonna shoot at the one charging at them.
Okay.
One, 2, 3, 4 successes. Yeah.
Let's see, the one you rolled.
Mm-hmm.
You're using the weapon at the appropriate range. You got the specialty for the weapon, so that's gets you up to 3.
Yeah.
And was there anything else?
I trying to think. No, yeah, then it's 3.
Okay.
I probably don't hit it because it has a 4.
I keep holding my fingers up, counting y'all's enhancements, and then I realize I'm not holding my hand up high enough for it to get in camera. Roll back a little bit. Alright, so that's 3. The Centaur's defense is only a 2, so that leaves you with 1 to play with.
Okay. Well, it has a complication of 2 because of the paralyze.
That's for it doing stuff.
Huh?
So that's for it doing stuff, but yes.
So it takes a 1. It's got a 2 complication, you said?
Yes. And it shall pin for another 2 complications.
Alright, so that gives it a total of 4 complications.
4. Yeah.
Alright, and Sasha.
Are any of the centaurs close enough to schmack with a sword?
If you wanted to run forward and meet one of the charging ones, yes.
Would that take everyone that she's currently got in the enforcing the boundary out of that? Because it moves with her.
It would take the truck out, so... Or, I say truck, it wouldn't be a truck y'all be traveling in, but the van or whatever y'all were traveling in.
The vehicular.
You would pull away from it. The followers are taking cover behind it. Robert is changing the tire.
She will stay where she is.
Okay.
And I mean, if she can hold an action to smack one of them if they come in range, she'll do that. But she's got sword out, and that's about it.
Okay.
Because she's gonna at least keep the two guys that are a little bit more squishy than
Squishy?
all of them. Yeah,
Must protect the mere mortals.
it's their thing.
Alright, and then that comes up to the rest of the centaurs. Okay, the two charging ones. Goodness, one of them's got a 6 on him, I think. He's not going to do anything but try not to get shot. The one with a 4 on him, he's going to go ahead and continue his charge. Goodness. Alright, 2 successes. So he successfully buys off the pin that Jaden put on him. Let's see. He is charging Jaden. Alright, so he bought off. Let's see. Y'all's defenses are naturally a 1. So he rolled well enough to buy off the pin so he doesn't get shot. But that leaves him with basically nothing to actually hit Jaden with. So he's right up there on you, but yeah, he does not succeed. Let's see, so 1 didn't do nothing, he did that one. And then the one that's trying to shoot Connor, tries to shoot Connor.
Pardon?
Somebody's shooting you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that bit. I just heard you say something else. I'm like, wait, what was that last bit?
Yeah, 2 successes.
Alright. Allow me to make a defense roll. Would this have the complication of 1?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so he'll hit.
All right, take a damage. Woo!
He has to burn 4 successes to do that.
He's got to, so it hits you, but then it pings off.
Yeah.
And back to the top of the order.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Does the blind wear off at the top of the turn, or is it till the Chimera's next turn?
To the Chimera's next turn.
Chimera's next turn. Okay. Can I still hear it?
There's a lot of noise and gunfire going on. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear it, but there's a cacophony going on.
Okay. Right. Well, does anybody else want to go first off, before I do anything?
Are you sure you don't want to go first, Sasha? You've got somebody in sword range now.
I mean, they're still going to be in sword range in another turn.
Will they, or will they get their turn and run away?
I'm not that worried.
Okay.
They haven't shown any indication of running away yet. They're still charging us, even though their Chimera got yeeted.
Yeah, but he got right
Okay.
back up, so it clearly didn't hurt it that bad.
Well, if yield yeeting. All right, so I will aim for where I last saw it. since I saw where it landed before it spit at me,
Mhm.
I'll just aim for that direction and just fire the staff.
Okay. I mean, it's only a one complication, so it's not like you're completely blind. Your
Yeah.
vision's just obscured.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. I thought it was like a complete blindness. All
No,
right.
no. It's just the one complication level.
Gotcha. Okay, so in that case. Alrighty, so 9 minus
Ooh.
1, so 8 successes total.
Okay, defense is 4. That leaves you with 4.
Hit, crit, and I'm going to knock it prone again.
All right.
Not going to knock it back, I'm just going to knock it flat prone.
All right. As a reaction, it is spending attention,
Okay,
but you do knock it prone.
alrighty. I'll shift to plant myself between it and the rest of the party,
Okay.
and that will be my turn.
All right. Next up is the Chimera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was cheating. I do not spend that last tension, and the Chimera goes down.
Oh, cool.
I started thinking about it after I used it. I was like, that's awful powerful if he can just use it for every tension I've got. But there's a cooldown on it, so he cannot use that again.
Ah, okay.
Okay, that means that the Chimera does not go this round. So that's one initiative off of theirs. The centaur that is on you
Mm-hmm.
is going to... Yeah, stabby's about all he's got.
Stabby.
He gets 1 success plus his enhancement, so he's got 2 successes.
Okay.
So even if he hits you, he can't buy off the whole stone skin thing. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna let him hit me, honestly.
the one that's been shooting at you, no. The one that charged Jade is going to try to stab Jade again. It's a little more like it. Four successes, plus their enhancement, so 5.
Can I roll to see if I can raise my defense?
Yes, you can.
Okay. See if anything that helps. Nothing. Okay. Let's see. That's 5 defense.
Holy smokes. What did you roll? Well, yeah, you only rolled
4, so I have 1, and that makes it 5.
Okay, then. You rolled 5 dice and got 4 successes on it. Why can't I roll like that? I rolled crappy last time I played D&D too. It's not fair. It's just not fair. So, it's a beautiful thrust of the spear. But you just as gracefully just get completely out of the way. And he swears at you in Greek. I don't know if you speak Greek or not.
She does. She takes classes to speak it.
So yes, he's calling you a shoed mare. Probably something in his culture. I don't know. You
And
get-
she'd answer back, and you kiss your mother with that mouth? Back in Greek.
He doesn't seem super surprised that you speak Greek. He just kind of keeps growling at you. Or mumbling or whatever. Let's see, so that was one tried to stab Connor, one tried to stab you. Alright. Now it is the player's turn. As the remaining 3 of you all get to go.
Remaining 3. I thought there were 2 of us.
Connor went first.
And Jaden.
Then 2 baddies went. That was her rolling a
Jaden
defense.
dodged. Okay, never
That was
mind.
her. That was her getting out of the way, not actually taking an action.
Never mind. My brain was like, wait.
All right. So who? Out of you 3, who wants to go first?
If you want to go, go.
I'm trying to see.
Come on, you know Sasha wants to stab somebody or slap somebody.
I mean, she does, but
Then go. You can go first.
okay. There's someone in range. You said.
Yes. You take a couple quick steps over. Rah! Not far enough to get anybody, out of your defensive bubble.
6 successes.
Oh, that's pretty good. He's got a defense of 2, so that leaves you with 4 to play with.
Let me see. It also she's the sword when it connects. 1 second. Let me put it up.
It's got some hinkiness, doesn't it?
Yeah. 1 general enhancement. When an attack connects, the weapon inflicts a poison that results in all damage until the end of the wielder's next turn to be aggravated against the poison target.
Okay, so he takes the damage, and now any damage he takes is going to be aggravated.
Correct. And because he took damage, she is also using. She's going to spend a point to use Flatlander.
Okay, so he disappears for the round or whatever.
I'll have to roll for it, but he should. I'm just double checking what the roll is. I want to say we agreed that it was like liminal occult.
Oh, that sounds right. Yes.
Alright, so 4 dice, and then the occult dice, I'm just going to pick something with a 4. So he is gone for a round. And
Okay.
when he comes back, he will have to re-roll his initiative.
Well, his initiative's a 2 right now, so I don't know how much worse he can get.
Yeah, it could be a good thing for him, you know? But he just poofs.
Alrighty. So, Jaden or Robert, who wants to go?
Jaden will go. He's too close to shoot with the bow.
Beat him with the bow.
No. The one that's on you, Jaden, just disappeared.
Oh, that's right, because she teleported him away.
So,
Okay.
from experience, he'll probably be back in a few seconds. But that gives you time to shoot somebody else on the field. And maybe even step back a little bit so when he reappears, you can still shoot him.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. She's going to shoot at the centaur that is shooting at Connor.
Okay. Yeah, there's one shooting at Connor and there's one stabbing at Connor.
Right here. 8.
All right. His defense is a 2.
So that leaves me 6 to play with.
So you could
And he
hit him and crit him.
Yes,
Which
hit him
takes him
and
out.
crit him.
That takes him
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
The centaurs are not as rough as the chimera.
Sasha's still like, guys, do we just want to cripple them? Are we killing them?
And oh wait, before that, Jaden would kind of move back before the other centaur came back.
Okay.
And Jay'd be like, let's not kill them.
Jaden shoots one dead. Thump, thump. All right, let's not kill him.
Oh,
It's
did she
almost
really
practice.
kill it? Or
I mean, I think I
Yeah.
can specify that we're doing non-lethal damage.
I mean, she wouldn't go for
that's
the
a D&D
killing.
rule. I don't know that pointy arrows can do subdual damage exactly.
Well, she can down him without killing him. Shoot him in the leg.
I mean, some of the weapons do have non-lethal tag.
Does a bow
Yeah,
have
I'll
a
say-
non-lethal tag though?
Unfortunately, mine does not have a non-lethal tag. It is a lethal tag.
Yeah.
I think you've got to have the non-lethal tag.
Mm.
Unfortunately, if I do anything, it's probably going to end up being a killing blow unless melee and just pistol whipping.
Speaking, however, of you doing something, what are you doing?
Um. That is a good question.
One
So-
disappeared.
So one's disappeared, and we have one centaur left. Or is
Yes,
the chimera is
this-
still?
the chimera is down as well. So
Oh,
yes,
this chimera.
you've got the one stabbing Connor is still alive. You've got one of the ones that was charging that y'all had pinned. He didn't do nothing last round. He's still there, but he's not pinned now, of course. So yeah, you've got the one
Well-
stabbing Connor and the one that was charging down.
eh,
Because the one that disappeared has not reappeared yet.
Well, if that's the case, then Robert would go to the one that tried to charge. He's essentially going to do it himself, but attempt with melee. So we'll.
Robert
cast
just
that
needs him a
spell.
good pair of brass knuckles.
Pair of brass knuckles or an actual melee weapon to use. But
Though I
I'm
forgot,
okay.
you took the specialty. You took the pistol specialty in your melee, so you're particularly good at pistol whipping. You're like a '70s detective. Whack.
Basically just whack.
I mean, technically, you can make yourself a pair of brass knuckles.
Making the knuckles of brass.
It could actually do that too.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so one success. Plus, you're using close combat. Well, it's not the weapon you're using is not supposed to be a close combat weapon, but you do have the specialty for it. So that gets you up to 2.
And that's about it, unfortunately.
That's enough to do damage to him, though.
Oh, I thought he had a armor of 4.
No, that was the Chimera.
Okay.
The Centaurs have a defense of 2.
Oh, I might have just misheard. That's on me.
So yeah, you just run up and just whap.
Mm.
And I believe this guy already had 1 wound on him, so he goes down. But he's still breathing.
I was like,
Because you didn't
okay,
you didn't put enough projectiles in him to kill him.
basically.
Uh,
At least not this one.
And that's the end of the round. I believe the one Sasha may disappear fades back in at this point.
I'm at the end of his next turn.
Oh, at his next turn.
So
Okay.
whenever his turn was.
Okay.
he-
Essentially, he loses a turn. That's the actual useful thing it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So top of the order, which is a player.
Anybody else want to go?
Knock yourself out.
Don't tempt me.
He's the only
I'll-
person that can knock himself out.
I'll deactivate the aggravated function on my staff and hit the centaur in front of me. Okay. Also say reflexively, I will recall the point of legend from Celestial Promotion now that the Chimera is down.
Okay.
So that is Okay, that is 6. Yes, that is 6.
All right, then that
successes.
hits him and is enough to crit him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you put him down.
I'll zip over to the next one, the next closest one I can see, to try to intercept it from getting to the rest of the party.
Well, let's see. They dropped the other charging one. So the closest one to you is the one with the rifle has been shooting at you. So now you're up in close range where he'd have to be trying to shoot you like.
Yeah, basically I knock out his buddy and then he blinks and I'm just like right in front of him.
All right, then it is a critter's turn. You appear right in front of him. He rears up and kind of kicks at you with his front feet.
Okay.
Flurry of hooves.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Unfortunately, they are actually not as good at kicking as they are with their weapons. That's 1 success with a 10. And 2 successes. So that's 2 successes. So, if you're not specifically trying to get out of the way, he makes contact, but with your stone skin going on.
Well, I mean, he could still, do nonsense. I will try to actually defend from this.
Okay.
Okay, it's 4 successes. So that's a 5.
Yeah, he just kind of flails around.
Yeah, because technically with 2 successes, he still have a free success to do something other than damage. So I'd actually defend against that.
All right, and then the next one is the faded out one. So, he's freaking out wherever he's at. His turn's over. He fades back into existence.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a new spot in the initiative order.
If it comes back around where he gets to go again, I'll roll it, but he's probably going to be disabled before then. I'm just guessing. So then it is all of y'all. Jaden has backed up for him, but Sasha, you're still standing right where you were, when you hit him the last time.
What would she have to roll to hold the sword kind of at a threatening distance and just be like, "What the hell do you want?"
Well, you don't really have to roll to talk to him. Now, if you're trying to convince him of something one way or the other.
Well, she's trying to get information out of him. What the hell do you want? We showed up here. You started attacking us for no reason.
We were told to kill a band of foreign scions.
You see how well that's going for you. Do you want to die?
At which point he glances around and realizes one of his buddies is still up. Everybody else just kind of strewn around.
The Chimera's taking a nap.
It might not be taking a nap.
Dirt nap.
I mean, the staff is technically still non-lethal, but that Chimera just took a shit ton of magical damage.
He's in big owie land right now. If you want to live, I suggest you start talking.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Just straight persuasion or persuasion manipulation?
Yeah. I mean, you roll a stat with it, so yeah, manipulation works. Or presence, either one.
2, because I get a journal enhancement from the sword.
All right. If we surrender, we'll be allowed to live.
How many are still standing?
There's 2 still standing.
Kind of looks around. Guys, hold off for now.
He goes in and drops the spear. And, slides the rifle off, puts it down. Shouts up to his buddy,
And she'll put her sword back at her side.
Further up the hill, Connor, the one you're kind of engaged in, takes a little half step back and hesitates for a second, and then starts putting his rifle down.
Let's get those that still live off to the side of the road here.
Yeah, the one Robert pistol whipped into unconsciousness is still alive. The ones that took multiple bullets and arrows, yeah, they're gone.
Fair.
The Chimera is still breathing, but it shows no signs of stirring or waking up.
We've come here with no ill intent, and yet ill intent has been put upon us. Who wants us dead?
We were told you were a threat.
By whom?
Our oracle. And then the great beast arrived to aid us.
All we're really here for is to talk to a woman at Pompeii. That's it.
He just kind of shrugged. Like, we were told you were a threat.
Yes, we're a threat. If you attack us, we're a huge threat. I'm sure your friends would attest to that. I can ask their ghosts if you'd like.
So meanwhile, smash cut to Connor. He's holding the snake head of Chimera going, wow, wow, wow.
Stop playing with your kills.
Chimera's not dead. But yeah, that's all he can tell you. It was a vision sent to their oracle.
We just wanted to talk to Panacea. That's all.
Panacea.
Panacea. Something like that.
The healer goddess. That doesn't sound particularly threatening, I'll admit. Assuming you're being honest.
One of my mom's nymphs told me where she would be at. That's the only reason why we're here.
Pretty good information to try to awaken my grandparents. They were bespelled. Someone texted me about a woman visiting Pompeii to...
He tenses up when you say grandparents. Titans?
No.
Oh, your mortal grandparents. Oh. So, for a second there, he thought, I know what the threat is now.
We have no... We have no ill will against anybody here, unless they bring theirs against us.
He's looking around at the carnage, doesn't look happy about it.
You charged the hill with a chimera and started attacking. If you had gone with words first, I can assure you this wouldn't have happened.
We were ordered to follow the Chimera. The Chimera is not the wordy sort. Well, other than to tell us that if we fled, it would kill us. But we're no coward.
Kind of looks over at the other like, what do we do?
At this point, Connor's playing with the unconscious body of the Chimera because he's like, ooh.
We don't have these back home.
Yeah, basically.
Obviously,
Is it a boy or a girl?
But
We down jerked the Chimera. We don't want to keep fighting.
part of him's wondering if he can keep it.
No.
No. No.
You have two. You already have followers.
Yeah. Now a war mount.
No.
Dragon.
Kind of want a dragon so bad.
Well, you'll have no more trouble out of us.
Please relate what we've told you to your oracle. We have no urge to fight. We just are going to come, get our information. If we need to, hopefully we don't have to do any kind of tasking for this woman, but we have no intention to harm or disrupt anything going on over here.
He nods. Very well. We will carry your message back to our oracle.
Are they staying at like a hotel, I'm assuming?
The centaurs, no.
No, the band.
Maybe a stable.
No, the band. Like, are they staying somewhere local?
There's probably a small town not far from Pompeii where y'all could find something. You probably don't have a room currently.
Yeah. Considering they probably all have gotten in the meantime since they've started globetrotting, like phones that are multi-continental. Sasha will write down her phone number and give it to the centaur. If they wish to contact us, they can reach me here.
He takes the number, puts it in his little belt pouch thing.
It's fanny pack.
Well, it's more like tactical gear.
Nope, it's a fanny pack now. It's like fanny pack with stars and unicorns. At least in my head. Because I'm
And because you're the winner, so you get to write the history.
Yep. Man, you should have seen the centaur's fanny packs.
You mean saddlebags? No, fanny packs. If you allow them to leave, they'll rouse their surviving companion, gather the equipment off of their dead companions.
Just leave the dead guys.
Sky burial.
That's a Viking thing.
But yes, they do actually seem to just be leaving their companions. And the Chimera. They're not trying to rouse the Chimera.
Do we just leave the possibly rampaging Chimera here, guys, or
strap him
Well,
to
this
the
is-
car.
While this is all going on, Robert's gone back to fixing the flat.
I was
You
like, I
look
got a job.
all the lug nuts you took off are missing.
What?
He'd be like, mother. Well, that's lovely. Well, undoubtedly we have some type of small thief. That's fantastic.
Jaden, I need you to roll me a little something.
Okay.
Survival. Cunning, I suppose. Yeah, I think it'd be survival cunning. Your tracking would count into this, so you'll have that enhancement.
Then. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Luckily, I upped my cunning. That's 3. That's 4. 3. 3.
Yeah, you
because
roll 2
tracking
successes.
is my tracking's my specialty, so that's 3.
You see 4 sets of tracks. Little bitty tracks. But they look like little bitty human tracks. They all come out from under the vehicle circle around where the lug nuts were, and then they head back into the vehicle. And as you pick it up on the other side, they spread off in different directions after they cross the road.
She will go and chase them to try to get the lug nuts back. If they ran off with them, right?
Yes.
Hey, Jaden, where are you running off to?
They took the lug nuts.
The centaurs?
No.
The fuck is up with this place?
Can nothing be simple? Can we...
No.
Jade, Connor from up on the hill, sitting on top of the centaur. Sitting on top of the chimera at this point. Actually looking at the other centaur. Does this shit happen often? You all just decide, hey, fuck those dudes in particular.
When an oracle tells you there's a great danger, the warriors try to put an end to the danger.
Did you think maybe there was another foreign band of scions?
You were the ones that arrived where we were told you would arrive at.
So in other words, something gave your oracle the visions like, hey, kill those dudes because I don't like them?
A simplistic way to put it, but essentially accurate. Specifically, I don't like them because they're dangerous, but or up to something, or
He just gives the centaur a flat look. Well, as you can see, we are quite dangerous when provoked.
Noted.
As he's like petting the lion head of the chimera.
Yes, you're probably a little disappointed it doesn't have a mane.
I am.
And Jaden, I overstated a little bit how tiny the footprints are. They're a little bit bigger than I was showing.
Okay.
They're not like Sprite pixie size. They are a little bit bigger than that.
And then Connor's like, so who else joined you on this chaos contingency?
Only the Chimera.
Right, so the whatever the fuck stole the lug nuts on the car just happened to be around and decide, hey, fuck those guys in particular while they're fighting centaurs in a chimera.
I only know that I was not involved in any plan that involved anybody else.
Right. Because of course, why wouldn't a warrior stoop to thievery?
He looks a little insulted.
Connor just grins. So who does your oracle even respond to anyway?
They see visions of the future.
Given
We revere.
from...
Who would the centaur's oracles be associated with? Probably Gaia. Because she does oracles, Apollo does oracles. I think Jupiter had some oracles.
So which one did he respond with?
Yi, which is another name for Gaia.
Hey, Sasha.
Mm,
Apparently their oracles talk to Gaia,
okay.
who decided to show up in our town because they had an interest in it.
As this conversation goes on, the centaurs take their opportunity to actually leave for sure.
Like, we're gone, bro. It's just
Oh, they're pissing off
fine.
Gaia.
Let's just find the lug nuts and go and finish up this and go home.
Fair enough.
So Jaden, you're following one of the set of tracks because, like I said, once they get across the road, they actually split up, so it's 4 different paths.
Mm-hmm.
You follow one of them down the hills into some woods, and eventually to what looks like a badger den, but you don't see any actual badger tracks around it. It's like Rappy's got RGB. She keeps changing colors.
Yes.
It's red. It's bright white. It's red again.
She will try to go through, see if she could find, and try to get the lug nut back before looking for the other 4.
So you're like reaching your hand up into the badger den?
Yes.
That'll end fine.
That's fine. That's all fine.
You're stomping around in there. You're bumping into some stuff. You feel something, and when you pull out, you've got like a small wooden chair. Pretty finely crafted, actually. It's got like a cloth cushion. It's a little big for your typical dollhouse, but it almost looks like doll furniture to you.
She'll go back digging, see if she can. It's gotta be around there somewhere.
You grab another little something, and as you shake it a little bit, you hear kind of rattling, and you hear a muffled little voice, "Not the China!" And something's poking you in your wrist. Like a needle. It feels like something's poking you with a needle. You yank your hand out, and you've got like what looks like a little china cabinet. It's got like little dishes inside it. Some of them are broke now because you just shook it around and yanked it out.
I just want whatever you took.
I'm not supposed to give it back.
Why not?
We're supposed to slow you down.
And who told you to do that?
Messenger?
From who?
They said they were from the gods.
Okay. Which god?
They didn't specify. They said they were from the gods. And then they made threats.
I mean, don't give me what you just took. I'll just keep grabbing. I mean, almost all your dishes in here are broken.
Some of those were mothers.
So, you want anything else broken?
No. Hold on. A little bit later, a little man comes walking out of the den. He has to stoop to get out to the opening, but he's got the lug nut in his hands. Just don't tell anybody else I gave it back to you.
Secret safe with me.
You could just set that back inside. That'd be great.
And she will put the china cabinet and the chair back in. Slowly.
It's like, oh, all my dishes. And as you follow the other trails, you have similar encounters. One of them's a little more talkative. It tells you they were given instructions to slow you down, but no, not specifically how to do it. When they showed up and they saw the lug nuts, they just thought, well, that's an easy something. So they just snagged those and ran because, the fight was going on and pygmies are not fighters.
Yeah.
Other than swans. They'll fight the crap out of some swans. Which is, by the way, straight out of the myths.
I don't know why I found that amusing to know that.
They did succeed in slowing you down. It takes you about a half hour to track all this down. All of their homes are disguised. One was a badger den. one like an old dead tree that was hollowed out. That one didn't even come outside to talk to you. A little window just opens in the side and threw the lug nut back out. Yeah, one was built into the hillside, with the entrance obscured by rock. Even with your tracking ability, if you weren't specific, if you hadn't been specifically looking for the trails, you probably wouldn't have picked up on them because they were so small, and then the houses are so well hidden.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder what could be living in your forest back home that you just haven't noticed.
Very, very true.
And so after the half-hour delay, Robert, you're able to put the tire, you already had the spare tire basically on, and you're able to just spin the lug nuts back on, get them good and tight.
So, do we find out who the Oracle came from?
Yes.
Who?
Question though, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Chimera wake up in that half hour?
No.
Okay. So Connor's still sitting on it.
All right. So once the truck's ready to go, or I keep calling it a truck, but all of y'all wouldn't fit in a truck. So as soon as your vehicle's ready to go, though, are y'all taking off? Are you going to do something with the Chimera?
Jaden's all for leaving it, because where are we going to put the Chimera at?
How big is it?
The size of a lioness, just with an extra
Lion.
goat head and a tail. So lion-sized.
Lion
Not unnaturally large, but it's a lion, which is large enough.
I mean, I can carry it if y'all want to question this thing when it wakes up. I can just run alongside the van.
Don't think it speaks.
No, the centaur said it did.
He said it threatened him.
It said it threatened to kill them if they ran.
Either way, we can't just leave it. It could attack just anybody, or it could just follow us again and spring up on us once more.
So yay, nay? I can run alongside y'all easily enough.
Is
But
there
this thing's-
anything in the vehicle just to tie it up with?
Yeah, I'd say the soldiers at least would have some. Oh no, there's a
Or anything
like some
on the deck side
chain
of
for
it?
a winch. Where you could pull if the vehicle got stuck in the mud, you could potentially winch it out.
There you go.
You're in kind of a SUV sort of thing.
Hog tight with the chain.
And
Okay.
one of the followers comes out with some duct tape to tape the snake mouth closed so it can't spit.
Right. You got another one for the lion head and probably the goat.
Tape all the mouths shut.
Yeah. Okay. And then he'll just
You take off down the road.
and Connor
I assume kind of matching the car.
Connor will activate keep Heavenly Stride activated as Skin Like Stone wears off. He'll just run behind the car.
Okay. You pass a few locals.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the corner of your eye, Connor, you see a few of them cross themselves as you run past with that monstrosity over your shoulder.
That looks hog-tied and tied up. He'll actually wave at him as they pass.
But after a little travel, you arrive at the ruins of Pompeii. And there's people out and about. Not any huge crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ghostly or radiating a godly power?
Now you only see if objects are radiating, right? Or areas.
Quadruple check. I'm pretty sure it's just objects and places of magical power.
All scions do have the ability in some form. It is a knack to sense, but if nobody has it, then I guess it's like DM discretion if we pick something up, just because we are partial divinity. But it is a general purpose knack to be able to just sense whenever divinity's around.
So anyway, y'all
We are
start
here-
walking the ruins. There is an entry fee. Luckily, with the delay, y'all have gotten there after 3:30, so there's a reduced entry fee because you don't have as much of the day to wander around.
Show up Connor having a chimera over his shoulder.
Yeah,
That
we're gonna
causes
check
a little
them.
bit of a sir. You can't bring that in here. Well, they're speaking Italian. How many of y'all speak Italian?
Sasha knows enough of the language wherever she goes to get by.
Fair enough. Ma'am, he can't bring that in here.
Do you know where a temple to Gaia would be from here? We believe it's hers.
Well, not here in Pompeii.
Is there somewhere off to the side where visitors do not go, or that we could leave it? It is chained and secured. We just did not feel safe.
Can you
leaving
leave it
on
in your
the road.
car?
How unconscious does it look?
It looked knocked the F out.
Okay. Is it small enough to secure in the vehicle?
Yeah, it's an SUV. You've got enough room. You can load it in there. Like I said, it's lion sized.
I suppose we could leave it in there or put it on the roof or something, tied to the roof rack. Probably inside, so it's less of a spectacle. We have insurance on this vehicle. It should be fine.
Connor just shrugs, looks at a hand, plucks out a hair, makes a copy of himself, hands the chimera over to the copy, and the copy goes back to the car.
Yeah, the guy running like the the guy that takes the money for people to get in. It's just like,
Same, buddy.
Connor up in here just living his best chaos life.
do all of you have your weapons out? I mean, is Jaden's bow visible? Is the Kopesh visible?
She has a long, vest jacket over the Kopesh.
Connor's staff is shrunk back to pin size behind his ear, so it looks like a pin.
And your two security guys are clearly packing, but they're dressed and kind of marked up like they're security.
Yeah.
Which makes it legal in Italy.
Trying to think with the bow.
The bow would not be illegal to walk around with because it counts
Yeah.
as sporting equipment, but
Yeah, she
it would
kind of
just
had
stick
it
out.
on her,
Ma'am, who are you people?
We're just here to talk to Panacea to get information about how to bring my grandparents' souls back to their bodies since they were removed forcibly by a former, I guess, rogue renegade member's son of the Circle of the Impious. We really just want to do this and go home.
Oh. He reaches over, grabs one of the little, Xerox maps. Marks something. Yeah, you'll probably want to go there then. She always shows up this time of year.
Oh. Thank you.
And then he just watches you all walk past.
Sasha just relays, hey, she should be over here.
X marks
I
the
was muted.
spot.
Oh, I was muted. Connor waves at the guy as they pass, and then as Sasha said, he's like, "Oh, cool."
The spot he marked is deep into the ruins. If you had just started wandering around searching them, you might not have found it before dark. Because Pompeii was a decent sized city, and they've got a decent bit of it uncovered.
Yeah.
Towards the spot we go.
Yes. Connor, because Sasha has chewed him out before, will be respectful and not climb on things. Even though he wants to.
These were people's homes.
He still wants to climb. He likes being tall.
Like a tiny dachshund, like he just wants to be tall.
He likes being on tall things. Absolutely. He's like a big owl. He likes being up high.
So y'all travel back. This is far enough back that you're kind of getting back into some of the areas where they're still excavating, because they haven't already covered the entire city. The majority of it, but not all of it. You go back and there's a building that looks. It doesn't quite look like a temple. Let's see. Is there some kind of history skill?
Academics?
Yes, academics would be it.
Is this like an everybody rolls thing?
Yeah, anybody that wants to roll.
Are we rolling?
Academics
And
and intelligence.
Apparently, Sasha's tutoring is working out well.
read this book and be quiet.
He's upset.
I rolled
upside
Not
down.
so much.
the max I could roll and got all of them.
Well, hey, momentum.
But say Robert. No,
Robert's full on tourist mode.
basically.
Like, you think we can get shirts here?
I'm just imagining like tutoring between Connor and Sasha. She's like, have this book and be quiet. He's like upside down from the rafters reading.
See, I imagine Robert being distracted by the craftsmanship that went into the buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be his falter.
And this kind of, almost drug addict itched. There's so much stuff here that needs to be repaired.
Them buildings and you think it's mortar.
That building's doors. This wall over here. This statue. Oh wait, that's actually just a guy.
Basically.
Totally repair that guy though.
I don't know how I turn him back from stone.
Turn him into a golem.
No.
Sorry.
The rest of you realize this is this was like their equivalent of a hospital. Don't think a lot of multiple rooms. This was a place where, the city's doctors would
Like
operate
a
out of.
clinic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, more of a clinic probably, because they wouldn't keep people here as often. But you could come here to get checked out, or you could find the doctors here for them to then go back to your home to treat somebody if it was bad enough. You walk in, and much of the roof is caved in, so it's pretty well lit. There are areas that still have, well, I guess they probably removed most of the bodies.
Yeah, if it's somewhere that like people could get to, I would imagine they would have removed the bodies.
Yeah, they have unearthed. Ooh, unearthed 1,150 bodies. Out of 2,000. I don't know how they know the 2,000 though.
Probably a rough estimate.
They did a
Quite possibly.
census right before.
Well, it was Rome. They probably had a census done at some point.
Let's say there is also that, yeah.
I was thinking
Let's see.
Pompeii was a bigger city than that.
2,000 is pretty big for that time.
That's true. I may be comparing it to Rome. 'Cause I know you had some smaller cities like Herculaneum, I think, was one that also got wiped out.
No, I do not want to take the special COVID-19 household pulse survey. Sorry.
So anyway, you can see some spots where there's some evidence where some of the bodies may have been. And in one of the other rooms, you can hear somebody walking around.
Peek around or where they're walking around.
You see a woman. Let's see if I remember what she looks like. Or if they even really gave much of a description of her. Yeah, not too much of a description. Very pretty woman. Looks like a local. She's dressed in typical casual clothes that you've seen other folks, wearing. But she has got you can see where she's put flowers in this room. Not tons and tons of them, but
Other looking around, does Sasha see any ghost, spirit, shades, etc.?
And is that an ability you have to activate, or would that have been activated this entire time?
It would have been activated this entire time. It's
okay. You've been seeing ghosts nonstop since you've been here.
Okay, cool.
I really need to remember that you have that ability.
Isn't that your innate power?
It's an innate death.
Okay.
Power.
You're not sure if what you're seeing is really the souls of these people, or if they are, they're locked in like reliving their last moments. So it's literally, you see everybody kind of walking about doing their daily thing, and then they freak out, and it's like, they fall back.
Just looping.
Yeah, basically. It's like anytime you round a corner, it's like you're seeing, you turn and look down this street, it's like you're seeing that street from kind of the beginning of the sequence. It's not that you stand in one spot and you watch, this guy walk out, get burned up, and then he resets.
It just as she moves.
Mm-hmm. You're just seeing this brief amount of time in each spot you walk through. Including when you step into this room. You walk in, you see, of the dead, you see 3 people. You see a man who kind of resembles the living woman. There's like almost like a family resemblance between him and the living woman that you see here. And then there's another woman in there with him, and maybe a 13, 14-year-old boy. And the man is clearly, he's clearly a doctor or something. It looks like he is setting the boy's arm, like the boy had broken his arm or something. You see just a little bit of that, of him working, and then the entire room shakes. And shortly thereafter, the roof collapses in from all the ash, because that stuff is pretty heavy. And then you see what you've been seeing everywhere, where people get covered in the ash, are basically like kind of not burning up like they're on fire, but you're kind of seeing the damage done to them a lot better than you would have if you'd actually been there. Because you're not seeing. I say you saw the roof collapse. You don't see the roof collapse. You don't see the ash. You just see the people's, the like spirits of these people going through what happened to them.
Yeah.
It's disconcerting and fairly disturbing.
Yeah, Sasha's having a great time.
We having a great time.
Having a great time.
I was about to say that's a Joshism if I've ever heard one.
Having a great time over here.
And where the woman put the flowers is basically that sort of table that he was working at when this goes down.
Cool. She needed more nightmares. Okay, cool.
Now, of course, the table is all collapsed and the wood's
Yeah.
practically petrified, but she's got it.
He was a healer until the end.
I know. He was one of the good ones. He would have been legendary if he'd had the time. Why are you here?
I want to ask your favor and perhaps your knowledge to heal someone else.
I'm on holiday. She does not sound like somebody on holiday. She sounds like somebody bitterly depressed.
Yeah, Sasha kind of like on knees kneels and like lowers her head respectfully. Please. They're the only family I have left. The Kadama said perhaps you would know. And we've come this far.
All right, what's wrong with him?
She'll explain it. The whole Smith bit and all of that.
And Connor would chime in with what he learned from the Kadama, that it's a very bastardized version of Elfshot that was turned into like a powder that was forced on them.
Mortals dabbling with powers they don't deserve and aren't prepared for. That's not generally the sort of thing that her remedies would help with.
We were told to speak to you and to another, and that between the two of you, we would be able to find something perhaps that would return their vitality.
Well, my medicines might help them preserve their health, while something else rouses them, perhaps.
Yeah.
It is interesting. But what do you come offering me? I mean, I like to help, but you're not even of my people.
Would Sasha know, given her the boon and everything, if she could bring at least the spirit of her son or the person she was like here laying flowers for back to at least ask questions on her behalf.
You've never tried that on anybody remotely this old.
It doesn't say it has to. It doesn't give.
I'm just saying, Sasha's never tried it on anybody this old, so she wouldn't know for sure. And you haven't really tried talking to any of these people in a loop. You could certainly try, though.
Yeah. She'll relay that. I could. My gifts give me the ability to see the dead, the spirits, ghost shades, and to speak to them. If you would like to relay anything or ask anything, I could attempt that on your behalf if you would like.
She nods.
Or-
If you can do that, I will give you my what does she call that?
Favor.
We would probably just
Blessing.
call it a panacea because we use her name for that sort of stuff. But she
Give you
traditionally
my-
had a it's her potion. Okay, so yeah, she's literally got medicine that she gives out to people. Okay, that's what I thought. So yes, if you can do that, act as a intermediary where I can communicate with my son. And she pulls out like a little vial. Looks like a modern day medical vial. It looks like a modern day, like you put a blood, one of the like blood sample vials, sorts of things. The liquid in it is red, but it is not like blood red, and it seems to almost glow with inner light.
Okay.
Or maybe it's just catching the light in the room weird or something. Yeah. You see a lot of divine power coming out of it, though.
Q.
More than you see coming out of like your Khopesh or Jaden's bow.
Extremely beefy.
But
Alright. What do you want me to roll for it? Because basically she just has to imbue a legend. It's not really a roll.
All right.
I can link it in the chat for you.
All right. So you have to imbue your legend.
Yep, imbue a legend.
And for this, give me a persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Presence or manipulation. I could see either one of those working.
Pigeon noises, momentum, pigeon noises.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna burn at least like 2 or 3 momentum to go with it.
All right. How many?
Oh.
1 second.
Pigeon noises 3 XP. Pigeon noises.
Yeah, probably using manipulation and persuasion and 3 momentum.
All right. Spending 3 momentum.
Would she get any kind of bonus because of her occult specialty, even though it's not in this roll? Probably not. No.
No, I'm gonna say no.
All right.
Okay, and then you need to roll 3 more dice for the yeah, there you go.
3 successes because she has a general enhancement on the Khopesh.
Okay. So that's 3 successes. Normally, this sort of thing is kind of automatic. You just kind of focus on it and you start talking to them. But with this one, you have to coax a little bit. Not that he doesn't hear you, not that your ability isn't working, but he's been stuck in this rut since, what was it, 58 AD, 53 AD, 40 something, I forget when it was.
A couple of days.
Just a few days.
Yeah.
Few days. It'll be like your mother
79 AD.
to you.
He eventually you kind of startle him out of it. By the time you start to talk to him, he's already in the position of where he's been buried in the, under the rubble and the ash, the position that he sat in for over 1,000 years, or maybe over 2,000. Well, it wouldn't have been quite 2,000. Wouldn't have been quite 2,000.
A hot minute.
Yeah.
But them first few minutes were hot anyway.
Oh,
Too soon.
too soon.
But eventually he sort of turns his head. Kind of picks himself up. Wait, we have to help. And he starts looking around. Oh.
I'm sure you helped them very much while you were here. And I'm sure if you could have continued to help them, you would have.
Yes. It all happened so quickly.
I know it is probably little comfort, but your town, your people, have been remembered for many, many years.
He kind of looked shocked. The entire town? He turns, step over to like where one of the windows, and then he sees his mother standing there, where his back had been to his mother initially. Oh, Mother's here.
She comes and visits you every year.
How long has it been?
Don't make me do math. Sasha would be able to do the math, but yeah, she would tell him how many years it's been since the volcanic explosion. Eruption.
Let's see, it would have been...
It works. It is an explosion.
Since the
technically.
pyroclastic flow just wiped out your city.
So let's see, it happened in 79, so 1079 would have been 1,000 years.
That's an interesting thing. Would Connor be immune to pyroclasm? He would be.
Here.
Yeah, because
Kind
the innate power says he can literally swim in magma as long as he can hold his breath.
I got a calculator if we need to do this. 1 second.
Well, you can give him a rough estimate,
Yeah.
over, a millennia and a half.
Mm-hmm.
More than a millennia and a half, not quite 2 millennia. I think we're about 50 years off from it being 50-something years off from it being 2,000 years.
Yep.
He seems a little startled by that. Does Rome still stand?
In a form. It's also widely remembered. Its ideas have spread far, though.
He looks back over at his mother. Can she see me?
She looks over. Does it look like she can, register him?
Yeah, her eyes have just been focused on him since you roused him. You don't think she was necessarily seeing him while he was in the loop.
Okay.
But she's also not, speaking to him, or... She doesn't seem to respond to anything he says, so you're not sure if she can hear him.
I believe she can see you, but I don't believe she can hear you.
She shakes her head. No, I can see his lips moving. And she steps forward and kind of cups the side of his face. I mean, can't actually touch him, but it's kind of cupping the side of his face.
Is there anything you'd like me to pass on to her for you?
Just give her my love and tell her how much I wish I could have, continued on and truly given her something to be proud of.
I'm sure she's very proud of what you did accomplish. She said you would have been a great legend. Had times been different, and she'll pass on.
Yeah, Panacea nods her head when you're saying that. he was working on germ theory, you know. Imagine what modern medicine would be if they had figured that out in the 1st century.
That'd be very impressive.
I gave him gifts, of course, like all of your parents give you, which allowed him to perceive things, perceive life in a way that most people can't.
Looks at Panacea. Would you like me to tell him anything for you?
She actually kind of sits down and kind of gestures to him, and he sits down. Just act as our translator.
Okay.
And the two of them proceed to have a conversation. Panacea also shoos everybody else out of the room. This is not really a moment for the rest of you. Not really a moment for Sasha, but Sasha is integral to this happening.
She says, I will be as unobtrusive as I can be.
Don't worry about that. She, pats you on the knee or whatever. It's only because of you that I'm getting this opportunity.
Yeah, Connor will pat Sasha on the shoulder, like, I'll go keep an eye on the chimera. He'll leave.
I'll be out there. I'll find you all. You're easy to find. Go explore.
But they start talking, and he can clearly hear her. So you're really only having to tell her what he says.
Okay.
And it's a conversation, it's the sort of conversation you'd have if you could talk to a long dead relative.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha likely notices the difference in how these two interact with each other than she does with her own parents.
Yep.
They have this warm relationship that feels more like your relationship with your grandparents. Well, at least your grandparents' side of it, they're a little bit warmer than you are. You're self-aware. Sasha's self-aware enough to kind of realize that.
Oh yeah, she's like, I've got to really work on this when I get to Mac.
He tells her some of the stuff he'd been working on since the last time they had spoke, which had apparently been some months before the eruption. Maybe a year. He'd been here in Pompeii for most of his life. He'd gone off and trained other places and come back. Studied in Rome, studied in Athens. Kind of hit all the great centers of learning. He asks if he has any other siblings. You get the distinct impression that Panacea does not create scions very often. But she's not one of the major gods, so the rest of you kind of get to continue exploring Pompeii because this conversation lasts the rest of the day.
Honestly, Connor, like the real Connor, would head back to the van and just keep an eye on the chimera so it doesn't wake up and wander around and wreak havoc or anything like that. And he'd send his clone off into the city to keep an eye on the rest of the band.
So let's see, I got here at 3:30, so it was probably 4 by the time you started talking to her. And the place closes at 7, so you sit there for like a 3-hour conversation.
She is totally down for that.
Jaden will look to see if she can see any thing of if Gaia's been around there since they fought, the centaurs.
You look around, there's plenty of tracks of tourists wandering around and workers wandering around. You don't find any odd places of vegetation growth. I mean, some of the yards, some of the, there is grass growing in some of this place. Once they excavated it, once they uncovered it, some stuff has grown back like you'd naturally expect. Nothing blatantly supernatural or unusual. So around 7, the rest of you see some of the I'm gonna call them attendants. The folks running the site. They're walking through and kind of ushering folks out. Because at like 5:30 they stop letting anybody else come in, and then they do a sweep to make sure kind of everybody's out. A couple of guys specifically kind of walk up to the rest of y'all as you're outside the clinic. I mean, they were beelining for the clinic, like they were expecting somebody to be there. One of the guys is the one that was at the gate when y'all got here, and then a slightly older gentleman, maybe a manager type or something. They approach the group of you outside. We're gonna need to ask you to. I mean, the site's closing down for the evening. I realize you were here to see someone rather important. But still, we're gonna have to ask you to, try and wrap it up.
That'll be up to Panacea.
Right.
You want to argue with her, man?
The older guy goes, and then walks into the clinic.
Oh shit! Did I just get an old dude murdered?
I don't think Panacea would murder her. Right?
Just for the rest of his life. No medicine works for him. Go figure.
I mean, I'm a doctor, but
it's like, damn it, old man, I'm a doctor.
It's weird. We keep giving him morphine, but it's not killing the pain. Yet he says he takes it recreationally all the time, and it works fine. I don't know what's going on. No. So they're talking. Sasha, you notice this older guy kind of step up to the door and peek in. And seems both confused as to what he's seeing. Because, you're sitting here. Panacea is kind of sitting, 90-degree angle from you, looking into what he sees as empty space.
she'll kind of gently touch Panacea's knee and gesture to the gentleman at the door.
She kind of turns, looks out the window, and sees kind of, where the light's at. Oh, I didn't realize it had been so long. She looks up at the attendant. I'll be out in a moment. He very graciously just nods and heads back out. Looking relieved. Okay, she's not agitated. Not that he looked that scared. For the rest of you, he walks back out. He tells his coworker she'll be out in just a moment. To the rest, and then starts chit chatting with the rest of you about, did you like the site? Did you do it? Did you do any sightseeing, or was it strictly,
Secretly, Robert has just erected a tiny fort in them somewhere in Pompeii. Good luck finding it.
But say Connor was just like, well, I had to resist the urge to climb on things, which probably would have frowned at.
We would probably have had to try to arrest you.
Yeah. I like being places. He had to never mind. I liked it.
I didn't want to do anything illegal, totally.
Yeah.
Well, Robert is over there writing down, all right, got Fort Jones, all good. Fort Jones, Pompeii.
I could see it.
It's very unobtrusive. It's tasteful.
But very, very Nordic, because I want to confuse people.
Yeah.
So Panacea and her son, wrap up their conversation. It's very heartfelt. She gets up and walks out of the room. He turns to Sasha. Thank you for this. Not that I've really been aware of the passage of time, but I think it will be a great relief to Mother.
I think it will do her some good to know, to have at least had this opportunity to say words that might have been left unsaid.
And as you get up to leave, you see him step over and reach to the woman who's sitting there cradling her son, and he sort of shakes both of them, and they seem to come out of it.
Oh shit, did you just set free the entire city?
Should be okay with this.
Does Panacea notice?
No, she's walked out.
Okay.
Ooh.
When she steps outside of where the rest of y'all are, she's got like her little handkerchief out and it's like rubbing at her eyes.
Take it was a good conversation.
Yes. Bittersweet, of course, but
you got the chance.
Never thought I would speak to him again. Most of us aren't allowed down in the world on a regular basis.
Yeah. So that's kind of why we're here, so Sasha can speak to her grandparents again.
Oh, yes, and she digs out the little vial and turns back around to see if Sasha's been following her.
She watches to see what happens with if they move disappear or just move out of the clinic.
Well, he shakes the two of them awake, and they're startled at first because they look around, they see wreckage, and then kind of like him, it's like it clicks with them pretty quick. Oh, we're dead.
Shit.
And then you hear him tell him, "Come, we need to wake everyone else up." And as you're walking out, they're like walking through the clinic, waking up, the other people in the clinic.
You set the entire fucking city free. Hell yeah.
She'll tell Panacea that and be like, I believe even on the other side, he's continuing to do good, and she'll describe what's happening.
Oh, that explains why he's looking so grumpy. And she looks over, and you see, with your familiarity with,
Death.
Actually, you see the ferryman.
Oh no. So much work for Karen.
Wait, do they have coins? Because in Greek mythology, I don't know about Roman, they need to pay the ferryman to go across.
That was not a thing with Rome. Rome tended to cremate.
Okay. Well, Panacea is Greek, so with her son, I wonder how that's gonna work. Huh?
Well, I mean, he did mention that this is like with Rome, and they all technically did get cremated.
Ain't wrong.
So.
But anyway, the old ferryman is. Well, you notice that he's literally sitting there with some kind of energy drink. It's like he's in the very traditional look, which makes sense considering who he's here to collect. But he's got a very modern energy drink in his hand because it's going to be a long night.
He looks over at him and says, "They've waited this long. I believe their patience will hold a little bit longer."
Yeah, but my ferry carries 5 at a time.
Yeah.
Just that look of "I'm so sorry" when he says that.
Like, gives him a little bit of a respectful "I'm sorry" nod.
He doesn't actually seem upset about it. He's just kind of like, yeah, they waited long
Oh,
enough,
damn
but
right.
it's gonna be forever.
Hades,
Of course,
you have to have a lot of
Robert's sitting
paperwork.
here. Robert's sitting here like, mm,
I hope you build a larger ferry, you know.
I mean, if you need a bigger boat, just let me get some wood in for a little bit and I can make a bigger one.
Picture
to like a Titanic or a yacht, maybe.
No.
Like
Panacea hands you the vial, Sasha.
Very respectful nod.
Kind of puts it in your hand. It kind of cups your hand. I sincerely hope this helps you revive your grandparents.
I sincerely hope that your conversation made up for the years of words unsaid.
It certainly helped.
My abilities aren't a one-time thing. Should you wish to speak to him again?
See, now you're making that promise, but you have to actually see the ghosts around to do it.
She can find ways into the underworld. She does have that ability as well.
Oh.
Yes. That is also, like, 1 second.
If you ever want to like sneak into the underworld, I'm sure Hades won't mind.
Yeah, it's totally like not even my pantheon. We can get you down there though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not going to mind some foreigner.
Oh yeah. 1 second. Because it would be considered a place of magical or sacred power, and I think the death purview ties into this 1 second.
More than likely. I mean, it makes sense that you'd be able to find that sort of thing.
In addition, you can perceive entryways into the underworlds.
All of them.
It just says underworlds. Doesn't say which one. I mean, we can go into that movie or something. Why are there werewolves and vampires here? I don't know.
They've actually got a book for this game all about vampires. But I haven't looked at it yet.
Scions and vampires?
Well, you've got other supernatural stuff running around. And apparently the vampires are trying to create their own pantheon or something. Sounded fascinating.
Okay, so we got the Jones Valley Pantheon.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, so the workers escort you out. The older man is talks a little bit with Panacea because she's a regular. So everybody that works here for any extended period of time kind of figures out who she is, and maybe the very basics of why she's here.
Oh shoot! Before they left, Sasha would have asked if she knows if there's a temple or a place of importance to Gaia nearby, because they don't want to just leave the Chimera just hanging out. He's in our SUV right now. We're a little concerned.
Oh, somebody sick the Chimera on you. Huh.
The Centaur.
Or actually, I think she would say she wasn't aware the Chimera was loose. Again, she gets out every so often. But
drags a bill back to Gaia's like, look what I brought you.
But she tells you where there's a small shrine not too far from here. It's still active and kept up.
I wasn't aware the Chimera was loose. He's not. Connor's sitting on him.
Loose is a technical term. She'll pass that on to Jaden, so we can possibly return Fluffy.
Yeah, because there's not a temple for her, but yeah, that'll be fine. She'll go searching for it.
If lost, please return to.
Well, that's why the animal control never picks Chimera up. He's got his collar, or she's got her collar.
She's chipped and everything. It's fine.
But anyway, so y'all walk out. The vehicle's still there. Chimera is still unconscious.
Okay.
Panacea tells you her goodbyes. Really, just kind of nods to the rest of you. Tell Sasha bye. hops into a fairly expensive little Italian sports car, takes off.
Puts file in like most secure location on body.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all are heading to the Shrine of Gaia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to go off-road a little bit at some point. It's up Vesuvius just a little bit. Not like near the top or nothing like that, but we all been kind of skimming around kind of the base of it. Y'all have to go up a bit.
Mm.
It's where she said it was. You eventually have to get out of the car and just walk up, and it's in like a natural cave. Once you get in there, you realize it was probably a lava flow at one point. And then there's a whole little shrine area set up, torches on the wall, very old school.
Looks over at Jaden. This is more your pantheon than mine. Do we just leave her here, or?
Yes, when it comes to the Titans, I don't know much. But she'll take the chain off the Chimera.
Mm-hmm. What about the duct tape?
And the duct tape.
So you
And
get the
leave
duct
the
tape with bits of fur. He comes off with the snake head without too much trouble with.
Nebraska lives this with love.
And just leave the Chimera there.
It's still snoring as you walk out.
The apple that she grabbed from the grove, is it still good?
Would that have even been allowed on the plane, though?
I mean, it's not a drink.
It's a fruit going from foreign country to foreign country.
True.
Yeah,
Feel weird about that.
Yeah, I would say you probably don't have the apple with you. One,
Okay.
there was no particular reason you'd have thought to bring it.
Well, True.
Y'all didn't have any idea Gaia's name was going to come up in this.
Yeah, and she'll just leave the Chimera there and all right, let's go.
All right.
Before she decides to want to say hi.
You act like Gaia's an enemy. Gaia helped Zeus.
True, but
she
she
really have helped Zeus.
Yes, but her mother warned her. So she doesn't want to speak to her great grandmother right now.
Well, all right. I hope she doesn't take offense to that.
She left the Chimera there, live.
You didn't kill her pet.
Grandchild. Chimera would be one of her grandchildren.
We didn't kill one of her grandchildren.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, y'all hike back down the side of Vesuvius, back to your car, make it back to the road, and eventually, to the town, to that local town where y'all had a hotel reservation. So one healing goddess down, one to go.
Anything else we want to do while we're here?
Get an actual Italian pizza.
Oh, yeah,
I'm kidding. You probably don't want those.
Well, we would at least have because I'm sure that Chalarius would want to do souvenir shopping. Possibly Samuel as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot
So
y'all
it's-
brought Samuel with you this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would assume we would at least have done at least like maybe like a half day or a day of at least being tourists somewhere.
And y'all probably do that on the back end.
Yeah.
I
I'm
imagine
assuming-
Sasha's focused on the mission when you first get here.
I mean, assuming we can't just like plane to plane to plane to plane.
Well,
As
you
long as-
don't know where the Celtic deity is. You got people putting out feelers to try to figure that out for you.
Yeah, she's gonna check to see if she has anything from anyone back in Olympus. Or wait, no, she didn't talk to. No, never mind. She didn't talk to.
Somebody called Pippin William.
Yeah, we
Who
called
told you
Pippin
it was going to be a
William.
long shot with them because that's not really somebody they deal with a whole lot.
Was it you, Robert, that talked to the folks at the Rubicon?
It was. He was the one that talked to the folks at the Rubicon. Seemed to slightly irritate one of them.
We might not be allowed back, guys.
Oh,
Have to find a new location.
The guac's gonna be extra now.
well, Bridget didn't seem to mind.
Bridget didn't mind.
She was just
It
like,
was
shit,
the
I
other-
don't really have contacts that would help, I don't think.
There was the other fella that
Anthony.
Anthony. Why is thinking Alexander?
because secretly you continue to think of that Nosferatu that continues to hide in the crypts. But anyway,
The other information.
if you need information, he was your vampire.
But you do have a message from Anthony.
Okay.
He has made contact with someone in Belgium. And he gives you their contact information. You know, it's a guy. He's a scion himself. He's more in touch with the I don't want to just call them the Celts, but I have a hard time pronouncing their name.
Tuatha
Thank you. So anyway, he is a scion of the he's native to the Pantheon. So he has he's agreed to speak with you at least. It'll be up to you to convince him to actually help. He's like, yeah, me and him aren't tight. I just had I just know him.
Same Facebook group or something.
But anyway, he gives you an address. Like I said, the address is in Belgium. Not, unfortunately, like one of the big cities, so you'll have to fly there and then, drive.
Mm-hmm.
Drive, change a tire.
But it's still in Europe, so there's not going to be a whole lot of hassle, getting around. But we will pick that up. Oh, what now?
We could just take a train.
Truthfully. Would not be as fast as air, probably, but might be more
Connor
comfortable. I don't know.
So Connor gets bored, starts running alongside the train.
This is not moving nearly fast enough.
Starts doing loops.
Make a loop-de-loop and pull. Oh.
Right, Flash.
Anyway, so we'll pick up there, with y'all basically getting ready to leave Italy. We'll pick up there next week. Anybody that has not had enough gaming for the week, we've got multiple D&D games. At least I hope we do. I forget. I think the Saturday one was getting close to wrapping up. At least like this season. Deca's usually my go-to for the information on the other shows, so I'm flying blind here.
I believe in you.
Generally speaking, we've got a game on Thursday that Maddie runs, the game on Saturday, and then Heath's game on Monday. And then, of course, next Tuesday, we'll be back with the World at War. And we'll see you then. Everybody wave while I find the right thing to click.